my name is Jennifer Guzzy, and this is my media project over gender roles and stereotypes in Cosmo and GQ magazines. So the purpose of this is to survey different gender inequalities within Cosmo and GQ magazines. I have my physical copy of Cosmo and then my online copy of GQ. And I'm going to be looking for gender stereotypes and gender roles and different kinds of gendered marketing. So some different pieces of literature that go along with this. One article is titled Dress in the Female Gender Role in Magazine Advertisements of 1950 through 94, and it's a content analysis. So basically what they did in this was they examined different kinds of magazines over the span of about 45 years. And they were looking for any kind of like progress in stereotypical gender roles and stuff like that. They most commonly found stereotypical female roles and dress. And they did find a little bit of progression more towards a masculine or more gender neutral view, but it predominantly stayed very feminine and very stereotypical. And they found that pretty much the worst magazines were Good Housekeeping and Vogue because they do not realistically depict women, which I think we know. Another piece is called Grooming 10-Year-Olds with Gender Stereotypes, a content analysis of preteen and teen girl magazines. So they investigated the content differences between preteen aimed magazines and teenage girl aimed magazines, and they also looked at the differences between independent and mainstream magazines to see if there was any kind of difference in their gender stereotypes. And they looked at the amount of appearance focused content, which is just like it sounds, how they portray women in magazines and physically, if it's all the same kind of like whitewashed, very thin women. And they found that mainstream teen magazines contain more appearance focused content than preteen magazines. And mainstream was a lot worse than independent magazines in terms of gender stereotypes. So my first one is Cosmo, and the main premise, so the target audience is women, obviously, specifically older teens through like older adults. I'd say probably like early 20s through mid 40s, 50s-ish. So character roles, the front cover is very stereotypic, as our sexualized celebrity right on the front with, she's not really wearing a lot of clothes, she's kind of popping her hip. It's advertising the #1 way to find real love, which kind of plays into the idea that that's all women look for in life, is just someone to end up with. Also, like sex is just everywhere, electrify sex confessions, just very sexualized. A couple positive things that I did find in the magazine though was there was a whole page on like sexual health tips. There was also a page about, it's right here. They call it the boob watch, which is basically just like health around, like breast health. And there was also a section on the gender wage gap, which I thought was really cool. It's only one page, so I think we could do better. But it did kind of point out, and it even says white women earn on average 80 cents, or on average 80 cents for every man's dollar. And they pointed out the difference between women of color and white women, which I think is super awesome. And so communication and power, I think it's slightly progressive as a magazine. I think it's getting better. But in general, it does depict a more kind of masculine, like male-dominated, women's submissive society. It definitely sexualizes women throughout the entire magazine. And it goes off the fact that women might be obsessed with looks. It advertises tons of skin creams and tanning lotions, hair products, makeup products, clothes, jewelry, whatever. And my main question at the end of all of it is just like, where's the female empowerment in such a feminine magazine? We should be empowering women. So next one is GQ. The main audience is men, obviously. I think same kind of age range as Cosmo, older teen through adulthood. So character roles. So the front cover says "Let's all party" in big caps. We've got the like obsession with like style and looking sleek as a man. They do have a Buzz Aldrin interview in there, which is pretty cool. Kind of shows a little more depth than just, oh, like look at me, I'm cool. And It also just kind of sexualizes women and displays strong men throughout the entire thing. Communication and Power depicts the cool, sleek male, kind of an idealistic look for men. Ads consist of a lot of material things. So Cosmo was a lot of skin creams, makeup products, things to make you physically like youthful, rejuvenated, and this is a lot of expensive watches, cars, clothing, cologne. There's like 4 pages of watches just in the first, couple pages. And it was alcohol galore. Cosmo had like one alcohol ad. It was for rum chata, and it was just like every few pages was a different kind of alcohol in this one. And again, it shows sexualized, submissive women, kind of the same as Cosmo. So it generally exhibits a very highly idealistic male. So final thoughts. Overall, this was a very depressing project, I'm not gonna lie. Just kind of, I was hoping that Cosmo would be a little bit more progressive, especially, it's 2018, but, we still got time. And for both of them, I found that women were very sexualized, men were kind of held more on pedestals, and I would definitely not want my children learning from these. Flip through a magazine, it's kind of harmless once or twice, but I would not want my future children to base all of their ideas and their values off of these magazines. And yeah, my references. Thank you.